What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cindy Sim Racing, aka the Retro Dynamo, back with another video. And today I'm going to be taking on the Green Hell, the one and only Nordschleife. Now guys, I'll admit that this race had me at my wit's end. I recorded multiple times and still wasn't satisfied with the results, but I decided to go ahead and share this video with you guys. It was hell, to say the very least. This one was very interesting, but I've decided to race on this track because I figure that if you can race at the Nordschleife, that you can pretty much race anywhere. I've been doing a lot of driving on here to try to master my skills on the stick shift. I plan to do the same thing with the GT3 cars and the paddle shifters. But with all that said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, if you do enjoy it, give the video a like, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and man, yeah, just bear with me on this, and you guys will see what I mean. Now this one was rough for me, guys. As you guys can tell, from the intro, this wasn't exactly a green hell. That's exactly what it was for me. But I did find some positives in this training session, because that's what I called it. I chose to use the Nordschleife because it's such a challenging and difficult track that I knew that if I was able to master this track in racing, or in a racing setting as far as my racecraft, then I can possibly master any track. The Nordschleife is so challenging because it's so fast and it's so narrow. You don't have a lot of room to pass, but you have to maintain speed, especially when you're racing a lot of cars, because the cars behind you will completely run you off track if you're not, if you're not keeping up pace. So as you guys can see, I'm doing pretty good in the beginning, keeping my pace. It's very challenging for me to know when I can pass because there's not a lot of room. So right here, I get a run on this car, but it puts me right off track. So this car was able to get that spot back immediately because, again, it's hard for me to know exactly when I do have the opportunity to pass on a track that's so small. But I'm trying to maintain my speed to make sure that I don't get ran off track, because I've actually had some races off camera in the Nordschleife, and these cars will completely run you off track if you're not careful, right? And also, I want to talk about a few things that I think was holding me back this race. As you can see, the cars are putting a pretty big gap on me. And when I was off camera, I did much better in the Nordschleife, and I realized it was because I was playing with a different camera angle. As you guys can see now, I have the camera angle where the wheel is visible, and I don't think that my wheel setup is completely calibrated to the game itself perfectly. So sometimes the inputs that I'm putting on my own steering wheel don't register on the game in this camera angle, and that throws me off, right? Because I realize when I'm playing and I don't see a wheel at all, my inputs are more smooth. So I think sometimes that throws me off. And another thing is, I recently watched the movie Ford versus Ferrari, and as a Mustang fan and a Ford guy, it just rejuvenated my love for this car. I was actually contemplating on moving on because the Mustang has been so challenging to move on to a car that is easier to handle. But after watching that movie, man, I just fell in love with it all over again. Ford is such a competitive company, and Ford throughout history has always, as I get a run on this guy, you guys can see him, got a pretty good run on this guy, and I'm gonna take this spot. I crossed right in front of him, which was rude, right? Luckily, he didn't spin me out. But like I was saying, Ford is a very competitive company. Of all the American companies, there is no company that has been more dedicated to competing on the worldwide motorsport scene as Ford. So that's another reason why I'm very thankful, and I support Ford. So I'm going to stick it out with the Mustang, even though you guys will see soon, and many of you guys already know, the Mustang is an extremely hard car to drive. Like, it's very unforgiving. And I know you guys have seen the memes on the internet of the Mustang guys losing control of their cars. And I was in denial for the longest, where I would actually be somebody who's trying to debunk that, or trying to say that it's not true and that the car isn't terrible and it's just the driver. But You know, I'm starting to rethink that the Ford Mustang is a very unforgiving car, and it takes a very skilled driver to drive it. Because the difference between the Mustang and most cars is that when you make a mistake in most cars and you try to fix the mistake, a lot of times you're able to fix the mistake and move on. But in the Mustangs, mistakes tend to compound. So you make one mistake, then you go to fix that mistake, and that leads you into another mistake. Like literally just trying to catch yourself and fix a mistake you made in a Mustang leads to another mistake. And it's a very unforgiving car. But I'm very confident that at some point I'll tame this pony, and I think it'll make me a better driver overall, because if I'm able to tame this car, I think that I'll be able to tame any car, right? And another thing I've noticed is that with Assetto Corsa, the original, which I'm playing now, is that there isn't a lot of option for me to actually set this car up. I'm not allowed to change the ride height of this car, which I think could help me out a lot if I'm able to actually lower the car overall and lower the front specifically and raise the height of the rear. I don't have that option in this game. I do have that option in Assetto Corsa Competizione, but I don't have that option in this game, and I think that's another reason why it's so hard to control this car. So with that being said, I'm extremely excited for Assetto Corsa Evo. It will feature road cars, which you guys know by now. I like road cars. I like to use the stick shift, and I like to drive cars that allow me to use 3 pedals and a stick shift. And Assetto Corsa will have that. Assetto Corsa is also going to have GT3 cars. There's going to be a drift portion. And you guys know I am excited for Project Motor Racing also, but Project Motor Racing will focus mostly on, you know, professional motorsports, you know, GT3s and F1s, if I'm not mistaken. And I am excited about the crossplay of Project Motorsports, but I'm getting to the point where I'm even more excited about Assetto Corsa and its versatility with the amount of cars you can drive. Recently, I've actually been practicing drifting offline, where I'm learning how to drift, guys. So that's been pretty fun, you know, learning how to modulate the throttle and learning how to drift. I hope will teach me better car control and to save some of the spin outs that I've been having as I go completely off the track here. Some of the mistakes I make in the Mustang, I can't even explain them to you guys. I can't even tell you why the car does what it does. Sometimes I'm afraid to try to fix these mistakes because, like I said, a lot of time trying to fix a mistake in a Mustang leads to another mistake. So I don't know, guys. I'm going to stick with it, though. That's something that I do know for sure, that I'm going to master this car. And but back to what I was saying about the Assetto Corsa Evo, I'm more excited for that at this point than I am for Project Motor Racing, which is surprising because Project Motor Racing was the game that I initially thought would be the most promising game. But I'm starting to think that Assetto Corsa Evo is just going to offer more. I think it's going to offer more in terms of like an online community. There's going to be like a free roam mode, which I think is going to be kind of mirroring a street racing environment where, you know, guys can meet up online and have these races, you know, meet up, have car meets, and this is like all online. They can do drag racing in the street. I don't know if you guys know about it, but there's a game called, well, there's a mod called, what is it? No Hezi. It's called No Hezi. And it's modders are using the original Assetto Corsa, and they allow you to drive in between traffic, right, at high speeds and dodging traffic for points. And it's like this, and it's this game that everybody is playing on. You know, they're playing this in the Assetto Corsa community, and it's just taking the world by storm, right? So I think there's going to be some of that in Assetto Corsa Evo. There's going to be drifting, like I said. There will be GT3 cars for people who do want that hardcore racing. But there'll also be road cars for guys like me who want to get into the older cars and use the stick shift. So I'm extremely excited about that. And I would like to know what you guys think about it. Are you guys, have I come into the sim racing community too late, where most people are more into paddle shifting and GT3 racing? Or is there still a subsect of people who like the older cars, the road cars with the stick shift? So as you guys can see, I can no longer see the cars in front of me. I think I'm in P6. I started out in P5 out of 10 cars, and I lost a spot. So I'm in P6, and at this point, the goal is to just finish the race, because I've had a few races on the Nordschleife off camera, and I wasn't even able to finish the race. I was being knocked off course, quitting, getting frustrated. But the goal now is to actually finish the race and not to lose another position. So I think I'm going to keep these other cars at bay for the most part. I'm going to be able to keep my position for the most part. So at least that's the goal. You know, that's the goal for now. Can't really remember how this race went. I want to say that's what I was able to do, but I guess we'll see. So I come in extremely hot here, lose control. Nope, lost a spot there, and probably gonna lose another one. There's a car coming up on the right side of me. Yes, I lost 2 places. So I'm closing the distance with this guy. At this point, I'm extremely frustrated because I don't know how I lost that spot. And again, like I told you, you make a mistake in the Mustang, you go to fix that mistake, and you immediately make another one. And that's pretty much what happened. So now I'm playing catch up, and I have no shot at winning this race, because if you guys remember, the cars that were in front of me, I couldn't even see them. So now this is 2 more cars that were able to pass me, and I have no shot at winning this race. This is all about completing the race and not losing another spot, and keeping the car on track for the rest of the race. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing here. And I don't know why I can't catch these cars. I would think that because I'm in a V8 muscle car that I should have more speed on the straightaways than I'm having here. And I can't explain why. I just feel like I should be able to close the distance on most of these cars, and I'm not able to do it. But with that being said, guys, I told you guys I've been practicing drifting. I've also been practicing the heel toe technique. You guys can't see it because I don't have an extra camera where you guys can see my feet, but I've been practicing the heel toe. So with every downshift, I'm actually using the heel toe and blipping the throttle when I downshift. So that's something I'm proud of, that I'm learning, to drive this car efficiently, because I don't know if you guys know it or not, but when you drive a stick shift in real life and you want to race one, you're driving at high speeds, you don't want to just downshift without using the heel toe technique to raise your RPMs, because it can unsettle the car going into turns. So you want to use the heel toe technique to downshift before you turn, before you downshift, because it keeps the car settled and it makes the transitions more smooth. So that, and as I almost lose control again, I mean, I'm struggling, as you guys can see. I'm struggling to keep control of the car, but eventually I will regain control, hopefully. I think so. But as you guys can see, I'm completely stressed out at this point. This car just does not want to behave at this point. But the rest of the race is going to be pretty much me, guys, kind of holding this spot. I don't think I'll be passed anymore, but I'm not sure if I'm going to catch the other cars either. Right now, the goal is to try to control the car the best I can. And I'm hoping that, in the future, that I can control this car much better going forward. And at this point, I'm thinking that Assetto Corsa Evo is probably going to be my best bet to master my driving, because again, there's a lot of things about this game, being an older game, that I don't understand. Like, I can't change the car and set it up to actually make this car more efficient for me. There's very little I can do to actually change how this car behaves and how it drives. And I do believe that it's because this is an older game. I don't believe for a second that a Assetto Corsa Evo would be as limited in actually controlling the car. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully that's the case, that I will be able to control the car better and set it up in a more customary way. But yeah, that's pretty much the hope at this point. As you guys can see, I'm negotiating these turns a little better, maintaining my speed and going through the gears more efficiently. Again, I know you guys can't see this. I hope this isn't too boring for you guys. There aren't any other cars at this point for you guys to see some real racecraft. This is mostly about watching me try to keep control of this car. Recently I have been watching some racing anime, so it wasn't just the movie Ford Ferrari I've been watching. I've been binge watching racing content in general. So I've been watching an anime that I recently finished. It was called MF Ghost, and it was the sequel to the anime Initial D. I know a lot of you guys know about the anime Initial D. So MF Ghost is actually the sequel, where in Initial D, the main character was a guy who actually grew to become a teacher in his older age. And the show MF Ghost it follows the story of his student. So it was really interesting. It was only 2 seasons, I think, and right now I completed it. So I was looking for another anime to watch, and I stumbled upon one called Overtake. And Overtake is about F1. And I'm not big on F1. I'm not a real big F1 fan, but I do like racing anime. So I've been watching this one, and it's actually really, really good. So if you guys are into that type of content, I'm actually thinking about having that be a part of my content, where I discuss and talk about racing content, like racing movies, racing anime, things like that. So I've been watching that, and I'm very much been, like I said, basically binge watching it. Been binge watching a lot of anime about racing. And I want to know if you guys are into racing anime at all. Do you guys watch a lot of racing content or racing shows? Because I'm really big on this. And also recently, I want to know if you guys knew that, did you guys hear about what's going on with Lewis Hamilton in F1? Now, I don't keep up with F1 too much, but I do like Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, so I keep up with what's going on with those guys. And apparently, Lewis Hamilton has been cheated by the FIA and the stewards for a while now. Like, this guy has been robbed of multiple races based off their negligence. As I slide into the wall, their negligence has caused this guy multiple podium spots, where they're basically allowing other drivers to run Lewis Hamilton off the road, and they're not being penalized. And not only that, he's actually being penalized. And this was the worst sequence of this race for me, guys. I apologize, but I have to talk about this. So I was very afraid that the other cars would come and pass me up, but luckily I had enough room that I was able to maintain my position. But like I was saying about Lewis Hamilton, they're allowing drivers to pretty much run this guy off the road. And not only are these other drivers not being penalized, but they're actually penalizing Lewis Hamilton for going off the track after being ran off the track. And there's this big uproar and outrage over it. There are a lot of people coming to Lewis Hamilton's defense, because what they're doing is like blatant, guys. It's a blatant, it's like they're targeting this guy. I guess, he won a lot of races. And I hear a theory among a lot of F1 fans is they believe that the FIA believes that Lewis Hamilton thinks he's bigger than the sport. So they think that the FIA is actually trying to humble Lewis Hamilton. I don't know that to be true, because I'm pretty much new to motorsport in general, and I don't watch F1 much at all. But I don't think that all of these people are exaggerating when they say they believe that Lewis Hamilton is being targeted. So I'm wondering if you guys know anything about that. Have you guys heard about that, or do you guys know anything about that? I would like, more feedback on that, because I think that is terrible, that this guy is getting cheated like that. Because, I mean, could you imagine, F1 is extremely dangerous, and to have a situation where other drivers are allowed to target you and knock you off the track, I think is terrible, to say the very least. But I don't know. But hopefully that gets sorted out. We may never know. Hopefully that gets sorted out. We don't know, but I'm hoping that it does. And I'm looking forward to what the future of sim racing has to bring. Right now, I'm getting kind of burned out on Assetto Corsa. I'll be honest with you. I'm looking forward to Assetto Corsa Evo and Project Motor Racing, possibly even Rensport. I'm thinking about buying Rensport just to get a fresh start on a new sim, guys, and I plan to race that. Hopefully you guys tune in to watch some of those races also. I want to know what new sim game are you guys most excited about? Is it Assetto Corsa Evo? Is it Project Motor Racing, or is it Rensport? Which one do you guys think would be the best new sim? Or do you think a lot of people would just stick to the sims they're already playing? Because when I go to other channels, I see people who play things like GT7 and Assetto Corsa Evo, Le Mans Ultimate, and Automobilista. These guys seem to be settled in. Like, they don't even talk about the new sim racing games that are coming out. I'm wondering if there's way too many sim games right now that people just find one and stick to it. They don't want to keep switching sim games. And I'm wondering the validity to that, because that's kind of starting to seem like that's what it is. It seems like people, they're not talking about these new sim games. But me being new to sim racing in general, I'm excited for the new games. So I am looking forward to Assetto Corsa Evo, probably more than all of them. So I don't know. But I'm doing my best right now to keep this thing on the road. Right now, I'm looking for a moral victory, and that moral victory is keeping my position, not losing another position, keeping the car on the track, and actually finishing the race. So I'm going to try to be as smooth as possible, because when you're driving the Mustang, like I said, any mistake is compounded by other mistakes. So you have to be extremely smooth with your inputs. And that's pretty much the goal right now. I'm trying to maintain as much speed as I can, but also keep my position and keep the car on the road. Towards the end of the race, I did, I had a little more, I was a little more smooth with my driving, and not that it mattered, because it did not help me win this race at all. It didn't lead to a better situation. As you guys can see, I'm far behind the competition, and I won't be catching them in this race, guys. Sorry, but I won't be catching them in this race. Hopefully, I'll be able to catch them in the next one. And I don't think that my next race would be on the Nordschleife, but I do plan to use the GT3 in the Nordschleife also, because I believe that this track is a track that can build a lot of skill. I actually saw a documentary where Max Verstappen said that it was this track that he built his skill off. He did thousands of laps on the Nordschleife, and that's basically where he built the skill that we see today. So I want to try to follow in his footsteps by using this track to kind of accelerate my learning curve and get better at racing in general. And I can see where this track is building my pace, because this track is a very pace-oriented track where you have to keep, a pretty fast pace just to drive it, especially in a racing scenario when there are cars behind you. So you have to maintain a pace, you have to be quick with your inputs, and you have to think ahead. So I think that this will make me a faster driver overall, and I'm looking forward to that. So I'm wondering if you guys would like to give me a suggestion on the next track I should actually race at, though, because I don't want to keep doing Spa or the Nordschleife in every video. So if you guys have a suggestion about a track that I could actually race on besides those two, I would be welcome to hearing it, because I'm looking for a new track to try out. I'm thinking about Silverstone. I think that's an American track, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully that's an American track. I'm thinking about doing an American track, because I don't think I've done one since I've had this channel. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And as you guys can see, my input has gotten much more smooth. I don't know if it's because I don't have the pressure of chasing a car and trying to catch a car, or having the pressure of other cars breathing down my neck, that's causing me to be more comfortable and smooth on my inputs. And I'm pretty much sure that's what it is. It's a combination of both of those aspects. But I am satisfied with the way I drove towards the end of this race. And I think that I'm on the last lap. I know that I did 3 laps. There were 10 cars, 3 laps on the Nordschleife. I started P5 out of 10. I lost a few spots. If I'm not mistaken, I'm P6 right now. I'm either P6 or P7. So I'm not dead last, but I wasn't able to maintain my 5th position. So, it's bittersweet, but I am excited that I'll actually be able to finish this race. This will be the first time I finished any race on the Nordschleife. So that's a small victory, guys. To me, that's improvement, right? Now, did it look good? No, it didn't. It didn't look good. The driving didn't look good. Nothing about this race looked good. I was on the green hell, and it was the green hell for me. But I think actually being able to finish this race for the first time is indeed a small victory. So I'm patting myself on the back off camera. You guys can't see it, right? But I'm excited about that. So, and I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, that's something a loser would say, right? Well, hey, what do the losers say? Listen, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. Yes, I sound like a complete loser, but I am taking that moral victory with me, and I'm going to use that to boost my own morale and, you know, basically keep me going. And that's going to be my motivation to keep going for the next race, right? So I don't know. Have you guys been doing a lot of driving? What sims are you guys playing? As you guys know, I play mostly Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. I don't know if this is a very popular game, which I don't understand why Assetto Corsa isn't more popular. Of all the games and the sims that I'm looking at, I think it's the most realistic console sim there is, as far, because I know there are more realistic PC games like iRacing, but when it comes to pure console, I don't think anything is more realistic than Assetto Corsa. And that makes me wonder, are the majority of sim fans interested in realism or accessibility or an easy game to play? Because you would think that with this game being so realistic that more people would actually be into it, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm kind of confused about that. If you guys know, I would like for you to let me know what's going on with that, because I do think that Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione are the most realistic sims that's available for console. And I've been enjoying it. I do like the physics of it, but racing with this Mustang and these realistic physics, man, it's brutal. You know, this car is extremely unforgiving and any mistake is compounded. But I do think I'm approaching the last lap. I'm on my last lap of 3, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm P6. So the mission is almost complete. I'm almost to the end of this race, and this will be the first time I ever completed a race on the Nordschleife. So I'm almost there, guys, and I appreciate you guys watching this with me. If you guys enjoyed it, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel. I plan to have more to come, guys, and I hope you guys stick around with me for the long haul, because the ultimate goal is to bring content where I actually pursue I don't know if it'll be a career, but at least real life racing, guys. You know, I think I'm going to start with karting. I'm going to have some content of me karting, and eventually I'll move up to Spec Miata, you know, and that's the ultimate goal, is to go from just being a pure sim racing channel to actually having real life racing content. And I hope you guys stick around for that and follow me throughout the journey. So yeah, again, I am P6 like I thought I was. This is lap 3 of 3. And yeah, man, I really did enjoy this. I'm approaching the end of this race, and again, I did have fun with this one, guys. Unfortunately, I won't be taking home a win. As a matter of fact, I can't even see the car that's closest to me as far as in front of me. So this wasn't a complete victory, but I don't take this as a complete defeat either. So with that being said, guys, we're going to build off this one, and hopefully in the future, this will get a lot better. And I promise you, I won't be giving you guys terrible racing for much longer. So hopefully you guys aren't too disgusted by the racing you've seen today. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Hopefully you guys haven't been completely turned off by this terrible racing. And I think that, you know, I'm approaching the finish line. So guys, there you have it. This was my very first time completing the Nordschleife. I've taken my red car to the green hell, guys, and it was not easy, to say, you know, that it was not easy at all by any means, guys. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content, and hopefully, you know, this isn't, you know, I'll get better, I promise you. And I hope you guys stick with me for the long haul, and I'll see you on the next one. Give the video a like, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and remember, if you want to win it, then you have to.
Sin.